Welcome back to Healthyish Recipes. I'm Corinthia. Today on Healthyish Recipe, we are going to make homemade Sloppy Joes. For those of you that like Mamwich, this is similar to Mamwich, but even better because it's homemade from scratch, okay? So we're gonna start off with, I have a hot pan right here heating up with some oil. We're gonna start off with 1 medium onion chopped. Pop that in. I have 2 peppers. I have an orange and a red pepper chopped as well. Lots of veggies in here. This is how I sneak in veggies for the kids. And you're going to be surprised with the next ingredient that we're going to fry up. Sorry. I dice up zucchini and put it in here, okay? This is, bear with me, stay with me. Don't freak out because we're putting zucchini in Sloppy Joes. I'm telling you, once you cook this down, those vegetables are going to melt a little bit and you're not even going to see it in the red sauce. Trust me. My son, who does not like zucchini, seriously, he does not like zucchini. He loves this. He asks for this, so I'm just saying. Alright, so we're going to saute this until they get soft. Once they get soft, we're going to toss in 2 pounds of ground beef. Today I have 90-10. Use whatever you like to use. You can use turkey as well. Ground chicken, any ground meat you would like to use. Ground turkey, ground chicken. I have not tried it, but I think it would be good, is ground pork Sloppy Joes as well. So that's one thing. You choose what meat you like. So when I talked to my son, I asked him what he wanted me to make. Did he want me to make the vegetarian version of the Sloppy Joes? Or did he want me to make it with meat? And he said he wanted meat today for dinner. And I asked him what meat. He's like, beef. I said, okay, we can do that. So, beef Sloppy Joes it is. So this is going to take about 10 minutes for it to get soft and translucent, and I will see you back in 10 minutes once this is done. When that is done, we'll add the meat in, okay? I'll be back. Alright, our veggies are pretty much translucent and softened. So we're going to add 2 pounds of ground sirloin to this. Now I'm doubling this batch, so I'll go over the ingredients, and this will feed like 8 to 10 people. And if half of this, like if you're using just the 1 pound of burger with 1 pepper, it'll feed like 4 to 6. So that's what we're gonna do, is double it, because I have a deal with my mom. Anytime I'm filming and making something, I usually give her half of whatever I'm making. Not that I live with her, but I'm just a nice daughter like that. Alright, 2 pounds of pretty ground sirloin. I'm going to grab a stronger spatula so I can break this stuff up and brown it. So yeah, this is going to be a big pot. Like, definitely will feed a crowd. So just mix that in. While that's browning, we can add let me get a spoon rest. We can add in the herbs and spices. Okay, I know there's onion in here, but I also like to add in a teaspoon of onion powder. Garlic powder, 1 teaspoon. Cumin, that's going to give a nice little smoky flavor. I've also used chili powder when I've been out of cumin. You can use that in a pinch because there's cumin in chili powder. Alright, so we'll stir that all in and break it up. So if you were going to make this vegetarian, you would skip this point. Like, the only difference between this recipe when I make it vegetarian, because me and my family, we were actually vegetarian for almost 6 years. And I developed this recipe to sneak in the vegetables for the kids. Our daughter wasn't a big fan of veggies back in the day, but she wanted to go vegetarian. You know how 13-year-old girls are. They want to hop on the bandwagon and be cool. And she would tell her friends, I'm a vegetarian. And everybody would be like, oh, that's so cool. You love animals, don't you? Yes. Which we do. We love animals. We have cats, dogs, and birds. So that's going to fry up and get this all browned. Once it's browned, then we're going to add the tomato base sauce to it. So I will be back in about 5 minutes, okay? I'll see you in a minute. Okay, the hamburger meat is all browned with those veggies in there. So we're going to start building the sauce, okay? Since it's a double batch, we're going to use a whole 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. All right, that's going to go right in here. If you were doing not a double batch, but a single batch, then you would just use half that can. Ketchup. This is a half a cup of ketchup we're putting in here. All right. 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And just a tip, brown sugar, you can use maple syrup. I love to use maple syrup, but I'm out of maple syrup, so that's why we went with brown sugar. But so in place of the brown sugar, I've used maple syrup, I've used agave, dark brown sugar, light brown sugar. It all works. Believe it or not, it tastes almost the same, what you're using. The maple syrup, though, it does give you that just a little bit of maple taste, which I like too. It goes very well with manwich-esque recipes. All right, and then here's a little. I also add beans to this. Lots of protein, lots of fiber. Like I said, I developed this when we were vegetarians, so I wanted to give the most bang for the buck. And so I use a tri-blend, which is a mix of dark red kidneys, pinto beans, and black beans. I get this at Kroger. This is a Kroger brand. They're Simple Truth organic brand. So double batch, 2 cans. And I drained the bean liquid, most of it out. Boom. All right. Oops. Worcestershire. Say that 10 times fast. I'm going to add a few shakes of Worcestershire in here. Doot, doot, doot. Good enough for me. Maybe about like a tablespoon worth. And then some yellow mustard, prepared mustard. I just put a little squirt. I didn't even measure it out because this, we're looking at like a teaspoon. Believe it or not, it will add just that little bit of flavor. You can also put mustard powder inside of here instead of the prepared mustard. That's one thing about cooking that I love. It's very lenient, you know. You can add this instead of that, replace this with that. So this recipe, and most recipes, unless you're like baking, you have to be precise measurements, precise ingredients. But when you're cooking meals like this, it's so forgiving. That's what I love about it. All right. So this is what it looks like, and it's not done yet. You put salt and pepper to taste. I don't usually put that till the end because like the Liam pairings and the mustard, we're adding things that have salt in it already, and we're not a big salt fans. Not that we're low sodium, but I always like to simmer this. You cover it up, simmer it for about 30 minutes, and then it's pretty much ready to serve. You can also put this in the crock pot and put it on low and let it cook. I love that because then the vegetables really do melt and you can't really see those veggies in there, and that's how I tricked my kids. So you do it stovetop or in the slow cooker. So yeah, that's that. And so I'm gonna cover this and we're gonna simmer it away for 30 minutes, and then it'll be done and we'll come back to that, okay? All right, we'll see you then. Okay, 30 minutes later and we're back. And as you can see, everything is all melded together. Now, if you cook this longer, just like chili, you know, you put it on low, you cover it, and you let it simmer away for hours. And if you do that, like in the slow cooker or on the stovetop, those veggies will all melt and just become part of it. And that's how you really trick those finicky kids that don't like to eat vegetables. But my gang, they're totally okay with seeing the vegetables. They're nice and soft and cooked. The flavors are all melded together. What you can do, especially with the zucchini, there's a lot of water content in the peppers, the onions, and the zucchini. So for the last 10 minutes, I took the lid off of here so it could simmer away and cook off all that extra liquid, because the last thing you want to have is soupy sloppy joes. So this is all ready. Like you could cook it, like I said, for an hour, 2 hours slow, just to get it all even more melded in. I'm serving it on a onion roll, which is yummy. You can do it on your regular hamburger buns too. But so you just excuse me if I'm a little sloppy. It is sloppy Joe after all. And my husband likes to squirt some mustard on it even more, and there we go. We have a sloppy Joe. This is really hot. I don't want to bite into it, but it's perfect. And that's how it looks. Yeah. All right. I hope you enjoyed cooking sloppy joes with me today. Thank you for joining us on Healthyish recipes. I hope to see you next time. Don't forget, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and tell your friends. I'm teasing. But yeah, let me know also down below, have you ever made sloppy joes homemade? And let me know what you use, or if you sneak in vegetables or something unique with the sloppy joe recipe. I would love to read those. Okay, I'll see you next time on Healthyish recipes. Bye.